and welcome to the Rainbow Umbrella, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything under the rainbow. This month on the Rainbow Umbrella, we decided to do something a little bit different, and I have interviewed a whole bunch of people who are about to tell you about their favourite thing. Okay, for Favourite Thing, recording one, I'm here with Jade at the wonderful Wolf establishment, and Jade is going to tell me about her favourite thing. Jade, what's your favourite thing?
My favourite thing is my cat.
Yes!
His name is Loki.
Yes.
And he is a ragdoll.
Yes.
And he is very beautiful.
He is, I can confirm. And you will also be able to confirm yourself later via the Rainbow Umbrella Instagram, because I'm absolutely sharing a picture of his little face. Yes.
We didn't get him from a breeder, we got him from a family member.
Mm-hmm.
The cat distribution system was well and truly at work when we got Loki. So I think he is a blue point. We've debated this. You guys can have a look at the photo of him. He's very beautiful.
He is very beautiful.
Fry time, thank you so much.
Okay.
And he, I think specifically I really struggled with what's my favourite thing, but then I was like, well, my cat, duh.
Yeah.
But the thing I really love about him is that my partner and I were added to a Ragdoll New Zealand Facebook group when we got him. Mm-hmm. And he was just like all the other ragdolls.
Amazing.
And it really cracks me up that I will see a post on the page of a ragdoll doing a particular thing. I feel like I need to think of an example, but I'll try really hard to get one. Where the ragdoll will be, I don't know, like lying on their back in a particular way or sleeping in a particular way, and I'll tag my partner and I'll be like, they are all the same. How are they all so similar? They're such funny personalities that it's obviously something more than just the weird little nature versus nurture.
Yeah, so stereotypes exist in cats too?
Yeah, I think stereotypes exist in cats too, which I absolutely love.
That's incredible. What's the goofiest thing that Loki does?
Oh my god. Okay, so the most recent thing that he has started doing, which is pretty entertaining, is he's just recently he's fallen in love with this little twisty tie. Okay. We don't even know where he found the twisty tie. We don't know where it came from. It was on the floor one day, and he started chasing it around the house. So it's a little bit like, it's a bit of wire covered in plastic, and he loses his mind when he plays with it. Like he does flips, like he'll have it in his little bunny paws and he'll be bunny kicking it, and then he'll suddenly like launch himself off the floor and do a big circle in the air because it's like it's suddenly he's acting like he's killing it and it's come alive and it's scared him. He is the funniest cat.
That's incredible. I note that, every time I've been to your place and have been around, he needs to be a part of everything, right? Like, yep. Does he follow you everywhere around the house?
100%.
Yeah.
If you go into the bathroom, 90% of the time you've got to check that he's not immediately behind you so you don't shut him in the door.
Oh, wee man.
And that's actually something that is sort of typical about him, is that, I should say about a breed, like a ragdoll breed, as opposed to like your standard moggy cat, is that it's like he's lacking in the sense of self-preservation. He can get under your feet and you will stand on him and he'll be like, but he won't hiss at you and run off. He'll just be like, Mother, you have hurt me. And I'm like, darling, it's because you just like wedged yourself between the door and the wall.
Yeah, this was of your own doing, son.
But still your fault, because look at that face.
Yeah, I mean, you can't disagree with their face. Everything is your fault. He's very, very cute.
Never his fault. Never ever.
No, absolutely not. I don't think I've ever seen a cat with eyes as blue as Loki's. Like,
they're pretty blue.
Incredible.
Like, it was really nice about him is that his eyes actually come across in photos.
Yes.
You know how it is sometimes they just doesn't quite transfer? His do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. What's the most annoying thing that Loki does?
Oh, he's just developed this habit. I think it's because it's spring.
Yeah.
He's just developed this habit of, he really wants outside. So we do let him outside in a controlled capacity.
Yeah.
Because one, wildlife, two, for his own safety, he's too beautiful and too stupid. So he is allowed outside, but only like if we're at home and we're going to be around for a while, because sometimes he is a beautiful dickhead and he will run off.
Yeah.
He has started meowing at us, and I'm talking several hours a day to be let outside. And we have like conversations, myself, my partner, my flatmate.
Yeah.
He'll be like, and he manages to get this really annoyed tone to his voice. He'll be like, "Rah," and we'll be like, "Rah."
Oh, that's amazing.
And we'll be like, what? And he'll be like, "Rah." Actually, something I say to him very frequently is, I understand you. I know what you're asking. I'm saying no.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he doesn't understand me.
Oh, wonderful. Well, there you go. That's a brief glimpse into the life with Loki, the beautiful, beautiful idiot.
So, we're going to interview the host of the Rainbow Umbrella.
What up?
Mel, you did just say to me
I'm right.
$5 on whether or not I can guess it.
I did.
I said, I don't think I'll take that bet.
I
Because
reckon you should.
you like a lot of things.
I do like a lot of things, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to get my favourite thing.
I think I'm right, but I'm still going to let you lead us in.
Yeah.
Mel, what's your favourite thing?
My favourite thing is books.
Ah.
Yeah, my favourite thing is books. For the longest time, all I wanted was a physical book. Like, I would carry one with me at all times. I'm a sniffer. I get a new book, I get an old book. My nose is in there because I love it. I sound like a crazy person now, don't I?
No, you don't.
Okay, good.
It does lead me into my next question.
Okay.
What's the oldest book you've ever smelled?
The oldest book I've ever smelled. Much to my disdain, I didn't get to smell the pages of the Gutenberg Bible that I saw earlier this year with Ginny. But the oldest book I've smelled, I think it's from 1920.
That's good.
So that's pretty old. It's not as old as I would like, but they're the really old ones. They don't really let you handle them. You have to look at them from a distance, and so sticking your nose in it probably is frowned upon. However, if I could, I would. So yeah, books are my favourite thing. I'm not ashamed to admit that my to-be read pile is approaching 500, and that is a combination of physical books and ebooks. So at the beginning of last year, got myself, was it even the year before now, my goodness, got myself a Kindle after swearing off them for so long because I love a physical book. But I knew I was going on a trip overseas, and I obviously can't take many physical books with me.
I mean, you could, but logistics.
But then there's no treats. No
Mel
shopping.
brought back lots of European treats.
I did.
For the listeners at home.
I did. I would show you pictures, but they're gone. And so yeah, I got this Kindle. I was a little bit unsure about how it would go, and then I immediately read 10 books within a month. So the Kindle rapidly increased my reading speed, and I absolutely love it. And Bezos, bless him, is coming for me at the moment, so every day I've had an email from Amazon saying, hey look, this genre of books, $2 or less, this genre of books, $2 or less. So I've probably bought close to 20 books in the last 3 weeks, but they're all ebooks, so they're not taking up space, it's fine. I do get a little bit of the guilt sometimes when I buy a physical book, because I'm like, I know what goes into making a book, how sustainable are they? But I'm like, it could be worse, it could be meth. I don't do a
100%.
meth, I do a book.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, it leads me into my next question, which is, what would you say is the oldest unread book on your to-be-read list that you can think of?
Oh, now that's a nuanced question, because we have second-hand books, we have brand new books to me.
I'll clarify the question.
Yes.
What's the one that's been on your list for the longest? And you've still really got it in your mind, you want to read it, but you just haven't got there yet.
Yeah, that's a tricky question, because there are about 500 of them. What's one that I've not read? Actually, I don't know if it's the oldest, but it's one that's immediately come to my mind. My brother, for a birthday gift, bought me a really, really beautiful copy of Beauty and the Beast, because he knows that's my favourite Disney film.
That's beautiful.
And so, sorry Hayden, I've not read that yet.
That sounds like the kind of thing that you would have to admire.
It is very beautiful, like it's a cloth covered, like embossed sort of, it's beautiful.
Stop it.
Yeah, and I absolutely want to read it, but because I literally keep a stack of books next to my bed, and I also have the Kindle, like when my partner or my cats are not in my bed, is books.
I feel like that's a very guilt-laden question, and I should apologise for it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, if having 500 unread books isn't going to make me feel guilty, having books that I've had for years and I've not read is not going to make me feel guilty. Hayden knows I'll get to it.
I think the most logical question to finish up on is, what have you read this year that you would recommend the most to a general audience?
Oh, okay, that's an easy question. I read this book recently, which was a book that I brought back with me from overseas. It was This is probably the guiltiest confession.
Aw.
It was the only English language book in a campground in Croatia. Yeah, I grabbed it because I intended to read it, and I finally got around to reading it, and I absolutely loved it. It's called The Paris Library. Forgive me, I don't know the author off the top of my head, but a picture will be posted on the pod Instagram. It was absolutely phenomenal. I knew within the first paragraph, I was like, this is going to be in one of the top 10 books I've ever read. So, The Paris Library, absolutely loved it.
I think that that's a really nice way to wrap up the segment, because what you said before about, are books ethical, the production, the use of the resources to make them, but they are also the way in which we record our history, but we exist within history. Mm-hmm. Books are a reflection of who we are, and I think that finding a book that you love so much that you have to take it with you is a really good example of that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mal.
Thanks, Jay. That was beautiful.
I thought I'd put you on the spot. I'm glad I did.
Why did I limit it to 5 minutes? Hey, Fran, what's your favourite thing?
My favourite thing in the whole world is when like people laugh, but like laughter's great, whatever, but that kind of laugh that comes when you have like lost control of everything and you pull those awful faces that you know are never going to be flattering, but you're just so lost in that like real unbridled joy that comes with something that takes you by surprise, or that hits you in just the right spot, that you lose all pretense and you just laugh like an idiot.
Yep, and you're doubled over, clutching your stomach, you're crying, you might even just be silently making a laugh face, you're just gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you have a favourite unhinged or unbridled joy laughter memory?
I think for me, because it happens so often, because I'm fiercely expressive to a point that, it's become kind of a trademark for me. But I think just being able to see other people lose it like that and feel comfortable enough in your company that they can kind of let go a little bit, and like that feels like such a gift, is that, you're a safe enough person for people to just lose it and not feel like they're going to be judged for like absolutely losing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think further to that, sometimes it can happen in a place that might not be inconvenient for that type of response, but when you're just in there, it's perfect anyway.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's a pretty great favourite thing, actually. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Hi, my name is Greg.
Hi, Greg.
My favourite thing at the moment is meditation.
Ooh, that's a good thing. Why is meditation your favourite thing?
I'm trying to find just small pieces of the day where I can be a bit more mindful, and just take those 10-15 minutes where I can just not have my mind buzzing like a blue-ass fly for the rest of the day. I'm already starting to feel the benefits.
Cool. So what sort of meditation do you do?
Just mindfulness meditation. I've got access to a wee app that's been very helpful called Waking Up. So just guided 10 to 15 minute meditations. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
And so apart from your brain not being a blue-ass fly, what other benefits have you had or have you noticed?
I suppose just a bit more clarity and feeling calm. Just noticing when my mind is wandering off and staying a bit more focused on tasks and things like that.
That's cool. And so you've definitely noticed it's helping you retain that focus and like bring you back if you're drifting?
So long as I stick to it. I'm finding that I've actually been looking forward to meditating, which has been easy to stick to the sort of routine. But yeah, I think as long as I stick to that routine, then I continue to see the benefits, which I suppose is like most things really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I imagine that would be the hardest part. So the fact that you've found something that you enjoy and, you're not finding it terribly difficult to stick to the routine.
Yeah. It's like anything else.
Yeah. Cool. So what was the name of that app again?
Waking Up.
Waking Up.
Yep.
Excellent. There you go. Waking
Recommend.
Up. Meditation is good.
It is good.
Thanks, Greg.
Pleasure.
Ready?
I am ready,
Yeah.
yes.
And now I'm with Yannick, and he's going to tell me about his favourite thing. Yannick, what's your favourite thing?
My favorite thing currently is a 1991 Mercedes-Benz station wagon in Arctic white.
Oh, Arctic white. Did you choose that color, or did it come that way and you've just improved it?
That is the official name of the color.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It is boxy, it is classic, and it is 4 years older than I am.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, 4 years,
Yeah.
1991. I'm 1995,
Yeah.
so yeah, I've only got it for about 4 or 5 months now, and I make videos and spend every weekend really trying to maintain something, fix something, or just enjoy some time with it.
So why is it your favorite thing? What do you enjoy so much about it?
Multiple reasons. I didn't think I was going to be into cars probably 2 years ago at all. This is my second car, or my third car that I'm owning, and I've got a license now for over 10 years.
Yeah.
My second car that I own in New Zealand, and I don't know, it started with a guy who came to install a window, and he had an old G-Wagon parked outside my house, and he installed the window, and I looked outside, and it was this beautiful G-Wagon. I started talking to him. He's German, just like me, and so yeah, I told him, oh, I need a car, and then he kind of got me onto it, and since then I'm kind of hooked. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the current project with the car?
The current project with the car, I'm actually having it right now. I'm having someone look at the window regulators. So most of it I like to do myself.
Okay.
But there are limits to my capabilities and the tools that I have. So yeah, currently I've got someone looking at some electronics, which I'm not too familiar with.
What's the most satisfying thing you've done yourself to the car?
I think the most satisfying thing was when I replaced the fan clutch, because that just involved getting very deep into the car. It's not something that is particularly special or difficult, but you really had to take apart a bunch of things, and it was challenging to kind of block a certain part to get to another, and I just was proud of myself that I got it done. I think that's the main thing, is the learning aspect for me, and the fact that, like I said, a year and a half ago, I probably could just about, put fuel in the car and nothing else. And so, yeah, it's been such a steep learning curve, and yeah, challenging but fun.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Does the car have a name?
It doesn't, no.
It doesn't?
No, and I also refrain from lots of people say, she's a good car, or he's, or depending. I don't actually gender the car. For me, it's an object still, even though I love it. It's completely gender neutral, and I had this discussion recently, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, particularly when your native language, there is a lot of gendering of words in German, right?
Yes, yeah, and a lot of it nonsensical, but
tell me about it.
yeah. So effectively, I just go by it's the car, and I like that.
I mean, that's kind of a statement in itself, though, right? It's the car.
Yeah.
It speaks for itself.
Yeah, no, I don't. It doesn't need to. I think that's just the way.
And I've seen pictures and videos of it, so it would definitely make a statement driving around Dunedin. So you'll know it if you see it.
Yes, it is very unique, and I'm yet to find another one like it. And I'd like to find another one like it, simply because people that have and own these kind of cars are usually quite passionate about them. And I've made quite a good amount of friends just through this new hobby, which is another large part of why I'm so passionate about it.
Oh, cool. That's really neat. Do you think you'll ever take it to like a car meetup or anything like that?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I'm already kind of like really reaching out as well. I think it's also part of who I am, is that I want to reach out to people. I've literally, the way I got this car is by knocking on someone's door because I saw it parked there.
Yeah.
And I did that repeatedly for months and months until he sold it to me.
Oh, wow.
And the other guy, who's now a friend of mine, who I constantly ask for parts, I just saw multiple Mercedes in front of his door. And every so often I drive past until I finally saw him outside. I'm like, oh yeah, these are your cars. And then got chatting, and that's just how it happens, yeah.
Amazing. Well, there you go. Look out for the bright white Mercedes around Dunedin, and say hi to Yannick.
Exactly, yeah.
Thanks, Yannick.
Yeah, thanks, Mel.
Kia ora, I'm Lemon, and my favourite thing is the Real Housewives franchise.
The Real Housewives. It's finally happened.
I've finally got a platform to talk about this.
I sense a bigger episode in our future because we can do this for
I'm
more
so
than
down.
5 minutes.
I'm so down for that. Yeah.
All right, stay tuned, people. But anyway, in 5 minutes or less, why are the Housewives your favourite thing?
Well, I mean, what specifically are we talking about? Because The Real Housewives is
Fuck
can is open. The Real Housewives is a franchise from the States originally, from like 2006. But there are so many different iterations of it, both in the States and overseas. From my recollection, there's like 11 American series and then like at least 20 international series and spin-offs. So I'm clearly not the only person who enjoys this, but probably the only person in your circle who enjoys it, and I will talk about it extensively.
Yes. Yes. So why is it your favourite thing? What do you love so much?
That's a layered question. It's my favorite thing because I love a bit of reality TV and a bit of lowbrow entertainment to, you know, sort of deal with the monotony of everyday life and sort of break things up. I think that a lot of it is very petty and there are lots of fights, physical sometimes and also verbal. The real reason I got into it was as a distraction from my studies, which it actually ended up being part of, which, you know, obviously validates my watching probably several many hours of it, conservatively.
Several many hours. Several hundred many hours.
Perhaps. I've never actually added it all up, but it would be a lot. I think of the 11 series in the States, I watched 7 of them. I think Orange County was the first. That was in 2006. And I think they've got probably around 15, 16 seasons of it. Most of the seasons are...
Of one location. Several many hundred hours.
And each
we're going to
season...
add this up.
Yeah, I mean, look, the length of the seasons has changed, but a normal season would be over 20 episodes, like 20, 22 maybe. About an hour-ish each, 40, 45 to an hour. So yeah, I think if you add all of that up, I've watched quite a lot of Real Housewives. So yeah, it's my favorite thing for a variety of reasons, but I definitely also like looking at it in terms of film and gender theory. I wrote about it twice academically in terms of intersectional feminism because you've got obviously quite affluent women. Sometimes, well, they're getting better at mixing up the racial diversity because it was quite white for quite some time. But so yeah, you've got the affluence, the different races coming together, and then sometimes there are people with different impairments involved as well. So it's kind of interesting to look at the female experience in multiple ways and how it's presented in reality TV and media in general. So yeah, I like watching that and for, you know, interesting like theoretical reasons, but also very just lowbrow entertainment as well. Covers all the bases.
Yeah, you know, the gender nerd in me loves that. I like that you've balanced out, you know, something that doesn't take an excessive amount of brain power on the surface. But if you break it down and, you know, look at the gender theories behind it, look at the intersectionality of it, it's like, actually, this is so much more nuanced than a bunch of rich people having a cat fight, you know?
And it's also that at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we could absolutely do a bigger episode on this. But for now, hey, should we watch some Real Housewives?
Let's do.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Mel.
What's your favourite thing?
I like mountain biking.
What's so great about mountain biking?
It's basically the mix-up of doing sport, being outside, being in the nature. That's basically, I guess, the key things.
Yeah? Where's your favourite place to do mountain biking?
My favorite place, probably Nelson, I would say. It's always nice to be back there.
Yeah? What's so great about Nelson?
It's the variety on trails. It's so many, and yeah, it's just pretty nice to have like mountains next to the ocean. Yeah.
Okay. What's the most interesting thing you've learned about mountain bikes?
Don't really know what I've learned about mountain bikes or what's interesting about.
Well, because I know you do a lot of like fixing and stuff.
Yes.
So what's the most interesting thing about like fixing or building or whatever that you've learned?
Yeah, it's actually just nice to get behind like the wee tricks and bits and pieces. Just been in mountain biking and actually been to 95% being able to fix it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose you have to do a lot of fixing.
Depends.
Yeah. Depends on the trail.
Depends on wear and tear and how much you're riding, and key is probably in maintenance not to crash, because that is always extra maintenance, but yeah, things you can't avoid for 100%. So
I think not crashing is key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you have how many bikes? What, 7, 6?
6 at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Which one's your favorite?
I would say probably the new Commensal, because it's quite usable for everything. Yeah.
What do you mean by usable for everything?
Yeah, you can go for a long pedal along the lake, you can go for a Duro lap, or you can even go for a ride in the park. So yeah.
Okay. Does a bit of everything.
Yeah. Does all the jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Mountain bike's fun, but don't crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
Very good. Thank you.
Cool.
Hey, Jen, what's your favorite thing?
Chocolate.
That's a pretty good favorite thing.
Fucking love chocolate.
Who doesn't love chocolate?
Hot chocolate, iced chocolate, warm chocolate, milk chocolate.
Cold chocolate. Okay, controversial question. Chocolate in the fridge or freezer, yes or no?
I don't put it in either.
Okay.
But I actually don't mind it in the freezer, because like it gets a lot more of a good melty sensation going when you put it in your mouth. And that's also something, the meltier, the better. I love it when it just melts in your mouth. Yeah.
Okay, how do you feel about like different flavors of chocolate or chocolate with bits in?
I'm a little bit plainer. Although my favorite at the moment is like a roast almond chocolate.
Oh yeah.
I'm really digging roast almond chocolate.
Something with a little bit of crunch.
Something with a little bit of crunch and a good enough little bit of a, yeah. I also love like marble type chocolates where it's all of them mixed in together. They're really good. Hate mint chocolate. Mint chocolate's awful, but that's because mint is awful. Mint is the worst thing in my life.
It's funny because mint chocolate is my favorite chocolate.
Oh, well. Best ice cream? Orange chocolate chip.
Orange chocolate chip is pretty good ice cream.
It's pretty good ice cream.
But mint chocolate's also pretty good.
Mint needs to just go die in a hole.
How do you deal with toothpaste then?
I tolerate toothpaste. It's the only thing that I will willingly tolerate, because it gives you a minty, fresh feeling. But I don't taste it too much, because the point of toothpaste is to brush your teeth, not eat it.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Okay, Whittaker's or Cadbury?
Also controversial, because morally Whittaker's, but taste I do prefer Cadbury.
Okay. I mean, there's also probably the financial implications, because it's what, $8 a block for Whittaker's now?
It's like $8. I mean, Cadbury's is $5. But you can generally get a couple of blocks on special, because the specials are fairly regular. But yeah, I will unfortunately choose Cadbury over Whittaker's.
Okay, that's fair. You're entitled to your taste opinions and your preferences.
Yeah.
If money was no object and you could just buy like 10 blocks of whatever, or you only could eat one chocolate for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, boy. You know, the Lindt chocolate balls? Those.
But which flavour?
The plain milk chocolate, like the gooey milk. Like, I will always choose milk chocolate over dark or white chocolate, because I like the sweetness. But I would eat the fuck out of those. Or, and this is actually, again, this is opposite to what I just said. One of my most favourite blocks of chocolates is the Whittaker's macadamia milk chocolate, but it's only a limited edition, so they stopped making it for so long, and I was so sad. Possibly also one of the reasons I didn't go back to Whittaker's for a long time, because they really hurt me with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I would just leave them alone and protest for a while.
Yeah. So if they want to keep me on their schedule, just continue the macadamia chocolate.
Yeah. All right, Whitakers, you listening? Bring back macadamia. Continue the macadamia.
Forever.
Forever. For Jen.
Not limited edition.
Yeah. Do it forever. All right. Thanks, Jen. I want chocolate now.
Thank you.
And all the way from the UK, we have Paula. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Mel.
Tell me about your favourite thing.
My favourite thing right now is theatre.
Ooh, theatre.
And it encompasses like normal plays, musical theatre is a big thing, obviously being in London, being on the West End. Yeah, it's my obsession since moving here, I would say.
Can you see how jealous I am from here?
Yes, I can.
Amazing. Amazing. So what's the best play you've seen or show you've seen since you've been there?
Okay. Well, technically I saw this before I moved. I was already in love with it. Wicked is my number one show.
Yes.
And so I've seen it twice. So I saw it twice in New Zealand, and I've seen it once since I landed in London.
Mm-hmm.
Plans to see it again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that is the show that really ignited my passion for musical theatre, because I was a drama kid all through school, and I hated musicals. I majored in theatre at uni, and I hated musicals, which I think made me the worst theatre graduate of all time. But then I went to Christchurch and I saw Wicked, and it changed everything. So here we are, and I think I've been to about somewhere between 40 to 50 shows since I have landed here nearly 2.5 years ago.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realise it was that many. That's incredible.
I think so, somewhere, because I've seen a few shows multiple times.
Yes.
And I've been to quite a few new ones as well throughout the years. So
yeah,
and my list just keeps growing. It's great.
Oh, as it should, as it should. So what's your favourite thing about going to a show?
Oh, I think as someone who has performed in shows and plays before, it's knowing, I guess, how much work goes into it and actually being able to see that performed on stage, the energy that comes with it, the way that you get drawn into it, because it feels more real. Well, it is more real than going to the movies, I guess.
Yeah.
Seeing it happen live on stage, there's just something very emotional about it, regardless of the actual content of the show. I've seen shows that have just absolutely destroyed me, gut punch, emotions-wise, and then I've seen some just really fun, light-hearted ones, but across the board, all of it, I've seen a few shows that, you know, I haven't rated them the highest, but you can always appreciate the effort that goes into it. And that is just what makes it so good. It's all I guess the enthusiasm behind it as well. Like, everybody that's there absolutely loves what they're doing and is thoroughly enjoying it, and you can see that come across on the stage, and it's just a magical thing to witness.
That's beautiful. And I mean, being a theatre kid yourself, like, do you find that, you know, having some knowledge of the technical aspects and, you know, the mahi that goes into putting on the performance, do you find that ruins the magic, or does it only enhance it for you because you're like, I know how difficult this was for you to do and you nailed it?
Yeah, no, definitely enhances it. I was actually talking to a friend of mine over the weekend. I went to see Joseph in Jersey, and he's just recently performed as part of Evita. And I didn't get to see the show, but it was really nice to talk to a friend who has performed, and it was the first time that he really kind of realized how much work does go into it and how much it absolutely drains you. Like, it consumes your entire life. It's your waking moment, especially tech week. You live in the theatre, and then you live in the theatre when you're actually performing it for the audiences, and then all of a sudden it's over and you don't know what to do with your life after that. It takes a bit of an adjustment. So I think knowing that firsthand gives me a huge appreciation for the people that do this for their job, that have been in shows. I was talking to a friend last week, and he was saying that the lead in Wicked, who played the man who plays Fiyero, I believe he's been playing that role for 2 years or so, over 2 years now. So you just think, when that comes to an end, what are you going to do with yourself?
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally appreciate the investment that goes into that. It's a job, but it's a labour of love.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Paula. Go and see a show for us, please.
Oh, I will. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. The Rainbow Umbrella theme song is by Paul S. Allen and Beth. Check them out on Spotify. New episodes of The Rainbow Umbrella are available every fourth Thursday on Otago Access Radio 105.4 FM, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to get your podcasts. Do you have an idea for an episode or something you would like to kōrero about? Get in touch at rainbowumbrellapod@gmail.com.